Alright guys, I am doing a video. I followed fordtechmakuloco's videos and did the timing chain. I used the Ford parts. I did a Melling 360 high volume oil pump. Hell, I even put new spark plugs in it, even though the ones in there were only like 40,000 miles. This is a 227,000 mile 08 Expedition with the dreaded 543 valve. I also put the 2-valve cast iron timing chain tensioners because they don't blow out. This one actually had passenger side blew out, and it's kind of a mess. That happened. Luckily, there's one little bitty tiny piece that I couldn't find about the size of a pencil eraser. But what happened is I put this thing together, and I even opened up the Melling filter and filled it full of oil. And when I went to start it, you know, I have the crank sensor unhooked, and I couldn't build oil pressure. So, you know, what am I doing wrong? So you get online and you look at Melling, and they tell you to blow a little oil up in the, you know, the center of the oil filter right here is the engine side. So when you pump the oil, it goes into this side of the oil filter. The Ford oil filters have a silicone valve in them, one-way check valve. This is just a 1 gallon pump sprayer, and don't mind my old barn, but anyway, this is an old 1 gallon pump sprayer, and this is a 1/4 inch NPT to a 1/4 barb. But anyway, before I put that barb on there, I just shoved this thing on the oil filter side, which would have been great to do when you had the front cover off, but of course it's all together. So you don't do this side, you do here, and you try to pump some oil back on the top of that oil pump. Still no oil pressure. You know, the gauge is just a on or off switch, so when it gets a preset value, it pops up and says, yes, you have oil pressure. I couldn't even get there. So I backfed the oil on the engine into the oil filter, but of course it just drains out. So then I thought about pulling the oil filter adapter off, but it's hooked to the water and this thing's topped off. So before I did all this, I had a bunch of cheap oil filters. If you get an oil filter and you can, a new one, and blow in there and it comes right out, you don't have a check valve. What you can do, this ties into, let's see, where's my video? There we go. Oil pressure switch. I can crawl under there and show you. You hook that up to the oil pressure switch. This is a cheap old Harbor Freight set, and it actually had everything I needed. I didn't need any special adapters. But you can backfeed with an old cheap oil filter that doesn't have the one-way check valve using this little apparatus hooked up there. Instead of that gauge, I'm doing this. And you just need a couple pumps because it'll slowly blow the oil in the engine. And this is long-winded, but I saw nothing on YouTube about it. So if one guy gets helped out with, this will be good. Blowing oil up in there. Some of it goes up in the engine, but if you have a cheap oil filter that doesn't have the one-way check valve, it'll actually backflow and prime your pump the rest of the way. I was ready to drop the pan to see if I messed up the oil filter tube, the oil pump pickup. So anyway, as you can see, well, there, I'll show you all where it plugs in. Maybe. I didn't have it tight and blew oil everywhere when I finally got pressure. Let's see. There it is. So there is where the oil pressure sending unit should be. Right there on the housing that the oil filter's on. So, as you can see, I finally have oil pressure blowing out. So, if you put one together and you can't get oil pressure, and you try priming and you're ready to drop the tank, try doing an old oil filter without the one-way check valve. Turn my light off. And you can backfill and hopefully get some oil pressure and not have to drop the pan or tear back into this. Sorry about the crazy video, but this isn't out there, and I'm not a YouTube video creator. I'm just trying to help somebody out. So if you have any questions, you can comment and, you know, it'll email me and I'll try to answer and help you out with your project. Good luck.